Politicians need to leave families alone. That is the topic of tonight's byline. When politicians aren't trying to raise my children for me, they seem to want to tell me how I should raise my children. The latest, Senator Céline Hervieux-Payette. She's tabled once again legislation to outlaw spanking in Canada. Now, there are so many problems with this. First off, with this bill and her activism, she insinuates herself into my family, into your family. Secondly, she changes and alters the language. She twists the meaning of words to try and win her argument. And finally, and this really gets me, finally, she claims that Canada must act. We've got to do this because of the United Nations. They demand it because Canada signed on to the Convention on the Rights of the Child. Well, firstly, Senator, you have no business telling me how to raise my children. If they are not neglected or abused, then stay the hell away from my family. Spanking is one tool that parents can use to discipline children. Not all parents use it, but some do. I remember when my youngest son was 3 or 4 years old. He wasn't in school yet anyway. Whatever age he wasn't in school. But he used to go with me to see his older brother and sister off on the school bus. The kids were picked up at a central point on a rather busy road, and Jamie used to think it was funny to jump into the road. That meant we had to watch him carefully. Sometimes we had to hold him, but when dealing with 4 kids, he would get away. We tried to reason with him. We used our words, as all the experts tell us we must do. It didn't work. Why? He didn't understand. We could tell him till we were blue in the face that if he jumped in front of a big truck, he would be hit and killed, that he would die. He didn't understand. He was too young to comprehend death, his death at that point. He would laugh at it. He would think that what we were saying was funny. What he didn't think was funny and what stopped him from doing it was me telling him he would get a spank on the bum if he ran in the road. That he understood. He didn't want to get spanked. Being run over by a semi-truck, well, whatever. He didn't have a clue what that was about. Death, he couldn't comprehend. Spanking, he could. In Senator Payette's world, my son would be dead and I would be in jail. I do not exaggerate that point. I'm not advocating beating a child, but spanking works with some kids. One of my kids, I just have to look at in a certain way, raise my voice slightly. It has the same effect as spanking my youngest. And funny enough, as kids get older, they do understand more and they can be reasoned with. We can actually use our words and those words are understood. And guess what? There's no need to spank. Of course, the senator doesn't say that she wants to do a spank, doesn't say that she wants to do away with spanking, does she? She says she wants to do away with standard child rearing violence. Why does she say that instead of saying, let's outlaw spanking? She says that because everyone's against violence against children. No one wants to inflict violence on children. You can be against violence against children and still be for spanking. Because most sane people see spanking as correcting children, not beating them. There's a world of difference. But the senator twists the language. She makes you think you're against something you're not. It's worse, though. See, her bill simply repeals Section 43 of the Criminal Code, which reads, every school teacher, parent, or person standing in the place of a parent is justified in using force by way of correction toward a pupil or child, as the case may be, who is under his care if the force does not exceed what is reasonable under the circumstances. This doesn't protect people beating children. But she wants to say that any force used against a child is illegal. Well, what does that mean? With this section gone, parents will have to treat their young children like they would any adult that they're not related to. So I want you to imagine this. I know this is far-fetched, but imagine you've got a child throwing a temper tantrum. They don't want to leave the park. They don't want to get in the car. The kids throw themselves on the ground. They kick, they scream, they cry. You know what's happening. You know why it's going on. It's their favorite park. They never want to leave. The child's hungry. They need a nap because everyone was up late last night. So there you are at the park. Your child's freaking out, refusing to get in the car no matter what you say. So you pick them up. You deflect their kicks and their punches, and you forcibly strap them into their car seat against their will. In Senator Payette's world, you are now guilty of assault. Maybe there'd be a confinement charge. Think I'm crazy? Section 43 of the Criminal Code doesn't protect parents who beat their children. We prosecute those people, and rightly so. Section 43 allows you to use reasonable force under the circumstances. With that protection gone, we're open season on parents. If I picked you up and I strap you into a car against your will, that would be illegal. Senator Payette wants the same to be true if you do it to your own child, who just needs to go home and nap or eat, who doesn't want to leave the park. In Payette's twisted world, this makes sense. To most of us, this is madness. It isn't the first time she's brought this up. It won't be the last. As Oscar Wilde said, the problem with socialism, you don't have any free nights. There's always a cause to fight for. Progressives like Payette will keep coming back to this, keep pushing for this, which is why you need to keep pushing back. And that's the byline.